So, the UK has just dropped a huge announcement, a massive new military aid package for Ukraine, one that totals over £500 million. In this explainer, we're going to break down exactly what's in it, why it matters so much, and, how it fits into the bigger picture of international support.
I mean, really think about it. How do you defend an entire nation's skies? This is the fundamental day in, day out question facing Ukraine. For years now, its cities, its power grids, its people, they've all been under this constant threat from Russian missile and drone strikes. Honestly, protecting civilian life from these attacks has become one of the most critical challenges of the entire war.
And this is the UK's latest answer to that question. Over £500 million. It's a staggering number, right? It's a direct and powerful statement of support, aimed squarely at bolstering Ukraine's ability to defend itself.
All right, so let's get into the why behind this £500 million pledge. This isn't just about sending a random assortment of weapons. No, this is a very specific response to Russia's continued aggression against civilian areas, a tactic that has really defined so much of this conflict. You see, the core purpose here is explicitly defensive. It's all about giving Ukraine the tools it needs to protect its population and, well, keep the lights on. It's about building a shield over its cities and all that critical infrastructure.
Okay, so what does £500 million actually buy? Let's get into the specifics. We're going to unpack this arsenal, breaking down the package piece by piece to see exactly where that money is going and what kind of capabilities it's going to deliver.
So the aid is really split into three main channels. You've got a major cash contribution to a NATO fund, then a direct supply of UK-made missiles, and finally, a further delivery of weapons through a partnership of allied nations. Let's look at each one.
First up, there's a £150 million contribution to a NATO fund called Pearl. Now, this is a big deal because it's actually the first time the UK has ever put money into this specific fund. It signals a shift toward a more integrated, pooled resource approach. You can think of Pearl as a coordinated shopping list, letting allies chip in to buy high-demand equipment together. Mostly, we're talking about American-made interceptors that are absolutely crucial for shooting down Russian missiles. The second component is a direct supply of hardware from the UK itself, 1,000 of these lightweight multi-role missiles, or LMMs. These are built in Belfast, and they're specifically designed to counter one of the most persistent threats Ukraine deals with every single day, those small, low-flying drones. This also really puts a spotlight on the direct role UK industry is playing in the support effort.
And the third channel is the Air Defense Consortium. This is another partnership of allied countries, all working to streamline the delivery of really urgent supplies. Through this route, the UK is sending another 1,200 air defense missiles and this is huge, 200,000 rounds of artillery ammunition.
So to just recap that three-pronged approach, you've got cash going to NATO to buy US interceptors, a direct supply of UK-made drone killers, and then even more missiles and ammo delivered through a multinational consortium. It's a really diverse and layered package. Now, it's really vital to understand that this pledge isn't just happening in a vacuum. Let's zoom out for a second and see how this fits into a much, much larger coordinated international effort. And get this, the announcement wasn't made in London. It was made in Brussels, at a meeting of the Ukraine Defense Contact Group. And that's the central hub where all of Ukraine's allies get together to coordinate their military support. So the location of the announcement is just as important as the announcement itself.
And the scale of that coordination? It's immense. We're talking about roughly 50 countries, all sitting around the same table, planning and pledging support. This isn't just a handful of nations, it's a broad international coalition.
So what's the big takeaway here? It's that this is so much more than just military hardware. It's a powerful diplomatic signal. It's designed to show the world, and specifically Russia, that, hey, even though this war has dragged on for years, the alliance backing Ukraine is still strong and it's still united. Okay, so with all that context, let's turn to the final and maybe most important question. What is the actual strategic impact of this aid on the ground? What difference is it really going to make?
Well, the most direct and immediate impact is pretty clear. A tangible boost to Ukraine's air defense capabilities. More interceptors, more missiles. It all means a better chance of shooting down incoming threats, saving lives, and protecting that critical infrastructure. Secondly, it hammers home that message of unity we just talked about. I mean, at a time when many allied nations are dealing with their own strained weapon stocks, a coordinated, multifaceted package like this one shows a really creative and determined commitment to keep the supplies flowing.
And finally, all of this combines to keep the pressure on Russia. By shoring up Ukraine's defenses and preventing Russia from achieving air superiority or, breaking civilian morale, this aid helps make sure Ukraine can continue to resist and hold its ground.
All right, so let's do a super quick recap of the crucial points from this explainer. The UK has committed over £500 million in new aid. It's laser-focused on air defense to protect civilians. It's doing this through a clever mix of funding international schemes and providing its own missiles. And remember, this is all part of a huge coordinated effort by some 50 allied nations.
So yeah, this massive injection of support is, without a doubt, helping to build and reinforce Ukraine's shield against attack from the air. But it does leave us with a lingering and pretty critical question for the future of this conflict and others. In an age of drones, hypersonics, and these relentless missile barrages, can any defensive shield ever truly be strong enough?